Mysteries That Refuse to Die, Episode 1. JonBenét Ramsey. Years have passed, but the questions remain. It was Christmas morning, 1996, in Boulder, Colorado. A family woke to what should have been a day of celebration. But instead, it became the beginning of one of the most infamous mysteries in American history. A ransom note. A 6-year-old beauty queen. A case filled with contradictions, suspects, and secrets. Nearly 3 decades later, the murder of JonBenét Ramsey remains a puzzle with pieces that never quite fit. This is the story of JonBenét Ramsey, a mystery that refuses to die. JonBenét Patricia Ramsey was born August 6, 1990. A bright, blonde-haired little girl with a dazzling smile, she quickly became the center of attention in beauty pageants across Colorado. Crowns, ribbons, talent competitions. JonBenét seemed destined for the spotlight. Her family was well known in Boulder. Her father, John Ramsey, was a successful businessman, president of a tech company. Her mother, Patsy, a former beauty queen herself, adored showcasing JonBenét's talents. To neighbors, the Ramseys were a picture-perfect family living in a grand house decorated with Christmas lights. On Christmas Day, 1996, the Ramseys celebrated like any other wealthy American family. Friends visited, gifts were exchanged, and by evening, the house was quiet. But the next morning, December 26th, everything changed. Around 5:30 a.m., Patsy Ramsey awoke and went downstairs. On the staircase, she discovered a 2.5-page handwritten ransom note. It demanded $118,000 for JonBenét's safe return, a strangely specific number, almost identical to John Ramsey's recent Christmas bonus. Patsy screamed, waking the household. Within minutes, the police were called. But what unfolded in that house over the next few hours would become one of the most criticized investigations in history. Police arrived quickly, but mistakes were made. The house was not properly sealed off. Friends and family walked in and out, contaminating potential evidence. 4 hours, JonBenét was considered kidnapped. But at 1 p.m., John Ramsey made a horrifying discovery. In the basement wine cellar, behind a locked door, lay the body of JonBenét. She had been strangled with a homemade garrote. Her skull showed a fracture from a blow. She was covered with a blanket, her favorite white nightgown beside her. The ransom note, the staged crime scene, the brutal killing, none of it made sense. And from that moment, suspicion turned inward. Investigators immediately focused on the Ramseys themselves. The ransom note appeared to match Patsy's handwriting style. The unusually long letter seemed personal, not professional. Some theorized an accident. Perhaps JonBenét wet the bed, and in anger, Patsy struck her. To cover it up, a kidnapping was staged. Others pointed to Burke, JonBenét's 9-year-old brother, suggesting a sibling altercation turned deadly. But there was never enough evidence to prove this theory. DNA found on JonBenét's clothing did not match any family member. Another camp of investigators insisted an intruder was responsible. An open basement window, unidentified footprints in the snow, and foreign DNA suggested someone from outside had broken in. Suspects ranged from local drifters to known sex offenders. One man, John Mark Carr, even confessed in 2006, claiming he was with JonBenét when she died. But his DNA didn't match, and the confession was dismissed as fantasy. Over the years, countless theories have emerged. A cover-up by powerful people. A botched police investigation hiding the truth. Internet sleuths pointing to overlooked evidence, such as the pineapple found in JonBenét's stomach that may have been eaten shortly before her death. Theories swirl endlessly, but none have ever been proven. The case consumed the media. The Ramseys were paraded on television, torn between grief and suspicion. Patsy Ramsey, often accused of involvement, spent the rest of her life under the shadow of her daughter's murder. She died of ovarian cancer in 2006, never cleared in the public's eye. John Ramsey moved away, remarried, and has continued to push for DNA testing and justice. Burke Ramsey, now an adult, rarely speaks publicly but once gave an interview denying any involvement. Nearly 3 decades later, JonBenét's murder remains officially unsolved. DNA advances have provided new hope, with samples sent to cutting-edge labs as recently as 2022. But so far, no match has cracked the case. For many, the name JonBenét Ramsey is forever linked to the failures of investigation, the circus of media coverage, and the haunting reminder that even a 6-year-old in her own home is not safe from violence. Years have passed, but the questions remain. Who killed JonBenét Ramsey? Was it someone inside the house? Or an intruder whose identity still hides in the shadows? Until the truth emerges, JonBenét's story will remain one of the world's most haunting mysteries that refuses to die. What do you think really happened? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for the next episode of Mysteries That Refuse to Die.